16th, 1971, Mama gave birth to a hell-raising heavenly son. Well, terrible time to do live, I guess. Look at that. Come on, son, get out of the live. There we go. We'll zoom out for now. Clean that windshield, son. Life on the big road. I'll be stopping soon anyway. Good morning, America. Who's in the house? Hit the like button. Good morning. Have a wonderful day. Gotta stop and clean that windshield here, son. Well, I guess no, that person didn't care at all. Wouldn't even give me a free like. Wouldn't even give me a free like. Come on, give me a free like. Smack the like button. Own that like button. Smack it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, whoever you are. Well, you won't know. At least they gave me a like. I appreciate that. You have a wonderful and blessed day. Today is October 14th, 2025 or 2025. How is everyone doing today? It is Tuesday. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm out of washer fluid. I need to get me some. Get out of the city here and stop and clean that windshield up a little bit. Yeah, so I can't zoom in. Oh yeah, but that accident we saw, if anybody was in the live yesterday, it's in here now, that accident we saw yesterday in St. Louis or Wentzville, Missouri, on the westbound side. Well, the accident happened on the eastbound side, and it ended up on the westbound side. While there was a teenager, 17 years old. He was traveling eastbound on I-70. He hits a car on the eastbound side, and he flies over to the westbound side and hits a semi-truck. And he, unfortunately, he did not make it. The 17-year-old teenager was the cause of the accident, and he did not make it. But out of I guess the 3 vehicles involved, he was the only one that perished. So allegedly he was traveling eastbound, hauling ass, hits a car, flies over to the westbound side, and hits a semi-truck where he passed away. I'm out of washer fluid. Let me try to. Oh yeah, I'm out of washer fluid. No washer fluid. Shoot. Hey y'all, but anybody's in here, it's a subscriber. Today is my wife's birthday. Would y'all happily wish her a happy birthday? And today is Charlie Kirk's birthday as well. little pole here. I'll try to. Stopped in that Love's there and cleaned that windshield off. Be alright. We'll be alright till we get out of St. Louis. Stop and get some fuel and get some lunch. Clean the windshield in. What's up, Static? Hey, Static, if you wouldn't mind, brother, if you're having a good day, put in the chat happy birthday to my wife, please. Hopefully she'll tune in and see it, and hopefully she can see chat just wishing her a happy birthday. This evening sometime. Just fill up the chat with happy birthday. Her name is Sky, S-K-Y. So say happy birthday, Sky. Why this wheel keeps shaking like that? Focus on that dirt on the windshield. Yeah. So that's the second way out. Please spam the chat with happy birthday, Sky. Just, come on. Goodness gracious. Everybody's miserable. I guess the only people that wouldn't say happy birthday, Sky, would be people that's so miserable in their own minds they want everybody else to be miserable. All they, it's amazing how many people's out there that just think negative. I really think there's a chemical dysfunction in the human brain that makes them negative constantly. Like you can't say nothing positive to them. They always got something negative to say. guess, you know, millennials got it pretty rough, though. Largest generation. Got it pretty rough coming into adulthood in a financial crisis. Ain't nothing been easy for the millennial generation. But it ain't no excuse to be miserable all the time. Hey, would you put in the chat happy birthday, Sky? Please. I'm just trying to get everybody just wishing my wife a happy birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that's so maybe she can, yeah, to my wife, say happy birthday, Sky, S-K-Y. Today is her birthday. So I'm hoping she can jump when she ain't busy. She can jump on the live and see all the birthday wishes. Take her out to dinner this weekend. They get to the house too late tonight. And her birthday's today, and mine is the day after tomorrow. Thursday. Tried to do live at different time. This morning live is not doing so good. Chat with happy birthday, Sky. Come on, show some love. Show some love. Love thy neighbor. I am your neighbor. Hi, right back at you. Richard, how are you today, brother? Trying to get everybody to say happy birthday, Sky. bottle. Somebody said no. People like to play. Hey, thank you, Richard. Hopefully she jumps on and can see all the happy birthdays. I'm trying to get everybody to just fill the chat with happy birthday to her so she can see it. Zoom way in so I can get past the dirt. On the windshield. We might stop over here at Mount Vernon. Get some fuel, some lunch, and clean that windshield. That's terrible. I guess I could have just waited to do the live. I guess everybody's at work and many people in this live today. Kids or miserable people doing the post saying no. Forget your wife, man. Forget her. I ain't telling her happy birthday. I'm miserable. I ain't gonna wish nobody happy on their birthday. That's why the mindset of people, man. You got moderate people, you got natural happy people, you got naturally miserable people. I think naturally miserable people is the folks that can win the lottery, be responsible with the money, and still be miserable. It's kind of fascinating. I think that's a lot of folks that are just naturally miserable people, is that, like, that's the folks that say money can't buy you happiness. Which, I mean, I agree with that in you know, in some context, but it may not be able to buy you happiness, but it can make life a hell of a lot easier. So in a sense, it can buy some happiness. Because, you know, if I woke up tomorrow morning and I had $10 million, I'd be happy. I mean, I'm happy now, but I'd just be a little bit more happier. Have to be $1 million. Like, hell, it could just be $1,000. I'd be happy. everybody can jump on and like just spam the chat with "Happy Birthday, Sky." It's SKY. Thank you all. That's very nice of you all to do that. Hopefully she can jump on and see it. I don't know if she's going to be in here or not, so I may have to, send her a text like, "Hey, jump on here. Everybody's saying happy birthday." She's probably busy. She's probably cooking breakfast for the kids right now. Today they're this week they're off for fall break. She's a teacher, so she's off all week as well. So she had to go to some conference yesterday. So my birthday is the day after tomorrow. Thursday is my birthday. We got one day between our birthdays, which is the 15th. Pretty wild, ain't it? Hers is today, the 14th, and mine's the 16th. Yesterday was my younger sister's birthday, and the 10th was my youngest sister's birthday. A lot of birthdays in October. Hey Sven, hope you're having a good day. Touch Monsters. If I could remember her Cash App, anybody that wanted to Cash App her $1. I used to work in this factory, and anytime it was somebody's birthday, people would always pin $1 onto their shirts. They'd walk around all day. They'd have like $25 pinned to their shirts. $1 bills. I think what her Cash App name is. I can't remember. Get over here and get some fuel so I can clean that windshield up. Put some washer fluid in it too. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. So I'd say, if I'm still around come my birthday, I'd say I'll do a live. Just the day after tomorrow. Today's Sky's birthday. So you can put a happy birthday to Sky. That's my wife's birthday today. Hers is today and mine is Thursday. it's Charlie Kirk's birthday too. His heavenly birthday. So when he got assassinated, we found out that that's when we found out that the old lady and Charlie Kirk shares the same birthday. They were born the exact same day, October 14th, 1993. Right there, no, it ain't the Popo. Looks like it is. Hey, there she is. She changed her name to Counter Life instead of no caller ID. She's in the chat. Everybody can say happy birthday, Scott. You're the homecoming king. Awesome. That's awesome, right? No, Jay. Yeah, right. That's right, ain't it? That's right. Not Jay. Homecoming's already? I thought that was like the end of the year or something. Right, say happy birthday to Sky. Today's my wife's birthday. Seven and 0, let's go. Already? They've played 7 games already? End of the year's wrong, yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Homecoming is 6 o'clock fall, yeah. Hey, say happy birthday to the old lady. I didn't go to prom. Happy birthday! If I'm mistaken, I think prom was only for like 11th and 12th grade. But you could go if you was like 9th or 10th grade if somebody invited you. But, you know, as a dude, well, at least back when, I don't know how it is today, but, you know, when I was growing up, women never asked you to go out with them. You always had to ask them. But now I think things change. I saw this video and I thought it was the most absurd thing. And there was this guy standing there, and I mean, it could be fake. You never know what's real on the internet. There's this guy standing there, and this girl knelt down and asked this guy to marry her. And I thought that was just so, like, unmasculine and unattractive. Just the most terrible thing ever. Like, what kind of world do we live in where women are proposing to men? I would be embarrassed and ashamed of myself if the girl I was with proposed to me. What is this? Hey Patrick, thank you Patrick. I'm at the gym today announcing homecoming queen. I gotta go. Alright Ray, congratulations Ray. Love you bro. The most masculine way possible. I love you dudes. Love you bros. Getting engaged in prom, what? Assuming she's going to propose to you. See what I'm talking about? Take it slow, Ray. How many times I gotta tell you? Take it slow, man. Guys, gals, I'm going to stop down the road here about 30 to 40 miles. Clean that windshield up. I'm out of washer fluid. I have to get some, put some in there. Get some fuel, clean the windshield. Some washer fluid in there. Okay, so you'll be 20 and she'll be just turning 18. So man, so like ain't you a freshman? Or a sophomore? I can't remember what grade you was in, right? So if you're like in ninth grade, that means she's like in the seventh grade. Oh, so you're like a junior. So she's a freshman. I met somebody the other day that told me that he married his high school sweetheart. And he was old too. He was like in his late 80s. You don't hear many stories about that anymore. Senior, okay, I thought you said junior. Oh, so she is a sophomore, you're a senior. Okay, got you, right. Yeah, because I was thinking he's a junior. I guess that was last year. Well, obviously. Sven says he just shut the diesel down for an hour-long break. Oh, you had to take an hour-long break, Sven? So after an hour, you can drive again? Over here, we got to stop for 30 minutes. Within sometime before the first 8 hours of the day, you got to stop for 30 minutes. And then after 11 hours, you got to stop for 10 consecutive hours. Explain to me how it, like how y'all's trucking works over there in the Netherlands and Germany. What's y'all's rules in trucking? See, here, like I said, get 11 hours of drive time, so you get 8 hours from the very beginning. So basically get it down about 3 hours, stop for 30 minutes, and then you can get 3 more hours out of your 11 hours. Then you got to stop for 10 consecutive hours, and then start all over. I have 3 hours and 43 minutes of drive time left before I have to stop for 30 minutes. Right now. So I'll do that while I get fuel and clean the windshield and stuff. By the time I get all that done, I can hit the road, make it home, and stop for 10 hours. So you get 10 hours of drive time a day, and after your 10 hours, you got to stop for 11 hours. And yeah, so you got to stop for that break sometime within the first 6 hours, 45 minutes. I think that's what you're saying. It's almost about the same here. But y'all get a lot longer breaks. We only get a 30-minute break and a 10-hour break. Which you can start driving after 8 hours, but it's just not, you're limited then. You might as well stop for 10 hours. But we have a 14-hour on duty clock. We only drive 11 hours. We drive 11 hours, be on duty for 14 hours. That's it. Okay, so you can split it into a 15 and a 30-minute break. Gotcha. is it better to split that break, or just is it better for you to stop for the, the total of 30 minutes? Just trying to figure out how y'all's clock really works. Split it. So. See, after we stop for 30 consecutive minutes, we'll gain those 3 hours that we have left on our 11-hour drive time. Depends on the work. Yes, so I got you. Depending on what you're doing for that day. That's Scotty. Scotty, I remember her name. It's the old Indian territory. Pretty simple. We don't get to split the 30-minute break. You have to stop for 30 minutes, 30 consecutive minutes every day. And the best way to do that, to utilize your drive time here in the States, is used to, you couldn't do it this way, but now you can. So what I'll do is I'll just stay on duty. You gotta, every time we do something, we gotta put in some status of what we're doing. Like when I stop over here to get fuel, I gotta go from driving, do on duty, fuel and truck, and I'll just stay on duty, fuel and truck for 30 minutes. And then by the time I get fuel, clean the windshield, go in the store, get some lunch, get back out to the truck at 30 minutes is almost or over. And then I just, when it hits the 30-minute mark, pull out and leave. And don't stop until I run out of time. I'm not one of those truckers that's going to stop somewhere, take my 30-minute break, relax, drive another 100 miles down the road, stop, get fuel. That's ridiculous. There's some drivers out there that stop all the time. I don't know about those guys, but I want to make some money and I want to get home. Who's out there in the States that drives the trucks like, my 30-minute break's coming up, I'm going to hit this rest area, relax for 30 minutes, then drive 50 more miles, stop and get fuel. We'll take the 30-minute break, just drive till you need fuel, get your fuel, take the 30-minute break while you get fuel, and then leave. I stop twice a day, once for 30-minute break while I'm getting fuel, and the 10 hours. That's it. That's all I ever stop. One time a day. And that's consecutive every day. Stop one time a day. I'll take it twice. 30-minute break and a 10-hour break. That's the only times I stop. Stay at shippers or receivers. Unless I'm going far away, then I'll go into a rest area or a truck stop or got a problem with it. Sven's from the Netherlands. He lives in Germany. Been a lot of Germans, a lot of Poles, and a lot of British people in the life. I'd say most of them come, most of the foreigners come from the United Kingdom. That's in the life a lot. And a lot of people from India too. I like it. You are in Utah. No, sir, I am in Illinois. Kind of looks like Utah, a little bit. Depending on where you're at, Utah. Two splits mainly for people that have reefers that haul food. It works good for them because they have awkward schedules. They might have a deliver load at 2:38 in the morning, then at noon later that day. I don't like food. Those food loads are heavy too. So they gotta be, they kind of utilize all the weight that they can put on a truck. The country's gotta eat, Slows you down now. A lot of those guys are overweight that hauls food. Which, and they're strict on that too, but people gotta eat, so I don't know why they're so strict on guys that haul the food. They might be 3,000-4,000 pounds overweight. Some more than that. Let's see, he's got food, he's hauling food. You gotta take a load of food, somewhere in Texas, you gotta take it to New York. I'm delivering food up in Brooklyn, New York. Is it Brooklyn? I'm trying to remember. Might have been Queens. No, it was Queens. chickens, you name it. Trucking's what keeps the country, going. It's trucking. It ain't nothing else. Well, I mean, it is a lot of other things, but mainly it's trucking. It's how everybody eats. Everything, man. Truck driving. Food in the house, you go to the store to get some groceries for your family, I mean, there's been trucks come in and out of the grocery store dropping that food off so you can go to the store, buy it and take it home to your family instead of having to go out to the woods and hunt your food like we used to do. But it's truly a luxury. Trucking's what does it all. It's amazing. You got people there that hate trucks. They hate them. I don't know why you want to hate it. You got everything you own from a truck. Everything. Your shirt, your shoes, your socks, your underwear, the big door you got to put on your house. People take these things for granted. They don't really think about it. Like where it came from, how it got there, the process of it. It's those trucks you think they got it there. Put that shirt on your back. Brought that stuff into your factory where you work every day. Not thinking that the raw material coming in there came on a truck so you could work every day. You've been looking for me. You lost the address. Okay, Tex. Hey, Tex. Man, I think it's 310 or P.O. Box 310, New Tasman, Tennessee. Tasman, Tennessee. Zip code 43786. I don't know. Nobody in here that has it right now. P.O. Box 310, Tasman, Tennessee. Something like that. I've been looking for those Chili's, Tex, at the post office. I have yet to receive anything from anybody yet. So you would probably be the first person to send something to me. Battery that runs your phone, got it on a truck, gas fan, everything. In other countries, they do the same thing. They have trucks and they ship it to this facility. They offload it, they process everything there, manufacture it. They put it on a container. They load it onto a container. A truck will come in, pull it, take it to a port somewhere in Shanghai, China. And they'll process it, load it onto a ship, and it'll sail across the Pacific Ocean. It'll dock in Los Angeles, California. A truck will be there, get the container, take it to a facility, they'll process it there, and then they'll load it onto another trailer, and the truck will come in, get it, they'll take it all the way out to Peoria, Illinois, and boom, there you go. Want to go onto a train, and then a truck will get it somewhere at some train depot. Everything comes on the truck. touches the truck somehow, some way, somewhere. I got the address now, so I'm going to send them today now. Mind you, they're a little dry. They just, that just makes it hotter. Yeah, I believe I know what you're talking about. Is those chilies? They are dry, and you know you kind of get the seeds out of them, the little seeds, and throw them in some chili. When I get them, I'm gonna make a pot of chili, Tex, and I'm gonna put them in there. Make a big old pot of hot chili. Like button, and hey y'all, for y'all that just tuning in, would you put in the chat, happy birthday Sky? Today is my wife's birthday, and I would really appreciate it. Yeah, it's like 310-310, you know, P.O. Box 310, New Tasman, Tennessee. I believe it's 37879. Hey, Mercedes-Benz. American Truck Simulator. You know what, I wish this was a simulator. That way I wouldn't have to, you know, well, that way I'd be at the house. Yeah, this is a simulation. It looks so real, doesn't it? The windshield's all dirty. We're going to have to stop and get fuel soon. These are not like jalapenos, right? They're made in a laboratory. 100% in Mother Nature, so these will never spoil on you, no matter where you leave them. Oh, that's good. So I'll make sure I have some for the winter time, so when it gets cold, I'll make some more chili. Bring it on the road with me. When I do get them though, Tex, I'll definitely let you know. I can't wait to get them, man. I've been excited for them ever since you said you found them. Well, and ever since you said you was on the hunt for them. Can't wait to get them. I think something I can send to you. Make sure you got your return address so I can send you something. Eventually, you know, if I can find out something I can send you. And so, yeah, if anybody sends something, you know, I think you got to put a return address. Please put a return address so I can try and send you something. Because if you're overseas, I'll send you some. We'll see some American culture stuff, and you know, some coins, currency, because I like collecting foreign currency. Happy birthday, thank you, Tex. That's her right there where I pinned her message where she said thank you everyone, because she tuned in a little bit earlier. She's probably not here now. Mercedes has their own truck. Mercedes has got a Volvo in his profile picture. I have seen those new Volvos over here in the States. They're very nice. I never did like a Volvo though. Never did. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like them. It's one of those things like, you don't like something, and like you just don't know why really. You just don't like it. I don't like Volvos. Sure, I like them. I like hot stuff, But it'll probably cost you a few dollars. But those chilies they're light, so it shouldn't cost you too much to ship them to me. I'd like to find somebody out west that hunts. And hunts for elk, that can send me some elk meat. I'd really like that too. 'Cause I don't believe I've ever had elk meat. To point out. All right, I got you, Sven. Guess your old Volvo. Yeah, on that DAF right bit over here. It's not treating you well. That ain't no good. What's a DAF? If I had to pick a truck, I'd want a Peterbilt. So I don't really mind any of them. Like, as long as it ain't a Volvo. But if I could pick a truck, it'd be a Peterbilt. I don't mind the Kenworth. This is a Kenworth 900. I don't mind it. I don't mind those T680 Kenworths. I don't mind the Freight Shakers, the Internationals. There he is. What's up, Buck? Balls, Angela, and reptiles. What's going on, reptile? If you go to either a Kenworth or a Peterbilt dealer, you see those posters for that car. It's that cab over that sometimes appears on there. I like the camo. It's the camo that sometimes. Oh, okay, that's what you're driving. You don't see many cab overs over here anymore. I see one ever so often. Yes, sir. We still rolling, man. We still rolling, Reptile. Doing the best we can. There goes a Volvo. There goes Peterbilt. There goes Green Peak. Where you been, Reptile? Been MIA? Yeah, guys, since y'all in here, that accident we saw yesterday where that car was cut in half, that accident actually happened. It started on the eastbound side and it wound up on the westbound side, on our side. So allegedly there was a kid, a 17-year-old kid, allegedly, he was flying eastbound, hit a car on the eastbound side, and it flew him over to the westbound side where he hit a semi-truck, and he passed away. He didn't make it. The 17-year-old kid unfortunately passed away in that accident. So I thought I'd tell y'all since we saw it yesterday. But everyone else involved was okay. Some young kid just flying for no reason, just because he could. Everybody knows how it is being young. Flying, lost control, hit a car, outside. That was on I-70 in Wentzville, Missouri, around St. Louis. Strict length regulations. Here we can run cab overs. Yep. We just got what they call a bridge law. Yeah, we saw it. We saw the aftermath of that accident, Steve. We rode up on it. We saw the car the kid was driving, and it was cut in half, and it was just totally destroyed. Just texted me and all he has is bison. I like some bison. I'll take some bison too. I haven't had any bison since I was in where was that at? I took a picture of this place. It was in North Dakota or South Dakota. Back before I was driving a truck, I stopped. Me and a colleague of mine at the time, we went to this restaurant that was outside of our hotel. Might have been Spearfish, South Dakota. But I got a picture of it. I climbed up on this metal. It was just put together. I'll have to show you sometime. I climbed up on this metal bison that they had made or put together, assembled outside that restaurant. That was the last time I ate some bison. Elk is good. That's what I've heard, Steve. I've not had any elk. I'd like to get some. But I like bison too, Tex. Which I'm not too familiar with the cuts of meat on bison. Or like, you know, some of it's tough. I don't know if any of it's tender. I've not actually had any tender bison. Oh, good, like beef, yeah. I'd like to have some. One of these years, I'm gonna have to go out west with a 7mm and go out there and get me an elk one year. I believe a 7mm would be perfect for an elk. Because in Tennessee, where I live, where I'm from, they release some elk. Shoot, man, that's been 20 years ago, I'd say. They released elk, but what they do is they do these raffles, and you gotta like enter to try and win to be able to hunt one of them. But they don't have a hunting season for them yet because they've not really populated enough to go out and hunt every year like you can the deer, the whitetails. And we don't have mule deer either in Tennessee. We only have whitetail deer. We only got hamburger meat right now, okay. I wonder if you gotta add, like how you do with deer burgers, and you gotta add a little bit of hamburger beef to it. People always wonder how you make deer burgers taste good, and you gotta add a little bit of ground beef to it. Too bad I can't get somebody out from like North Dakota, South Dakota, or Oregon and Utah and stuff. You know, like, hey, I'll hunt elk out there every year, man. I'll ship some meat out to you. That'd be nice. I'd like, you know, I'll help you pay for it to ship it. I'd say shipping, you know, elk meat across the country like that, depending on how much, you know, how much you send, it might be a little expensive to ship it. Plus, you'd have to do it quick and put it on ice and hope it can get to you before it spoils. That dude is standing out there all the time. He's probably rich, man. I saw a documentary about panhandlers in California years ago, and that's what they do for a living. And so they go out there and panhandle all day, every day, and then they go home to their mansion up in Beverly Hills. I was like, what? It's crazy. Millionaires out there panhandling, and that's how they got rich. Your brother lives in Oklahoma. They got elk in Oklahoma, don't they? Think when Tennessee released all those elk 20 years ago that they'd be populated enough now where you could you know, to hunt them, but they don't let you hunt them. What's this cat doing? That's some pretty colors right there, ain't it? You got a red truck, green truck, yellow truck, red truck. About to have a white truck. Oh, you saw the rocket launch? You can hunt elk in Kentucky. I have to look into that. This guy does not know how to back, dude. There you go, man. I bet he's a foreigner. We're about to find out. Goodness gracious, why? He definitely don't have a lot of experience. I can tell. He's cutting it too much. Little turns, man. Little turns. You're in there, bro. Go. I can't see him well enough to... Why is he trying to pull up? You don't need to pull up, man. Look at you. You got it. Yeah, he's a foreigner from probably Kenya. He looks like a Kenyan. Man, this place is packed today. What is going on? Looks open over there, don't it? Oh. Is that why he's not? Alright, Sven, if you're still here, this is how I take my 30-minute break. Take it while you're getting fuel. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look into that elk hunt in Kentucky if you can hunt them. Steve, I'm glad you said that because I can certainly do that. I mean, I probably have to go get me a 7mm though to, you know, be able to drop an elk real good. 30-06 with 308, that should do it too. But a 7mm is a little bit more powerful than a 30-06, if I ain't mistaken. Ain't that known as a dirty 30? If it is, Finn, that's new to me. Hey, Jade. Sorry, Jade. Almost missed you. Alright, hang on, y'all. I'm going to clean this windshield and get some fuel. text. I'll scroll up to see his comment there. Pull up a little bit more. Well, Maverick here didn't pull up far enough, and the driver behind him can't get fuel. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm around here and get me something to eat. plains. Pull off this fuel island for a few minutes. E-log crawl, baby. Ain't a spot nowhere around here. Somebody's walking back there. Watch out. Close your door, dude. Close that door, dude. Good morning. I'm about to pull out of here any minute now. Sitting out here watching airplanes. Ricard Daco on Tree Torreros. Let's go. 30-minute break. Well, I take my mandatory 30-minute break while I'm getting fuel, and as soon as it's over, I'll leave, you know. But I had to pull off the fuel island because the dude finally back and came in on the fuel island, so I parked like everybody should. So now I won't stop until I get to Tennessee. Unless I break down or I have a bathroom emergency. Oh yeah, works out good. You know, when you got 8 hours, you know, to drive, 30-minute break, I'll get it down to where I only have to stop for one 30-minute break, you know. If you take it too early, you have to take two 30-minute breaks. Then I'll run my fuel down low enough, and I'll stop, jump on duty, fuel the truck, and I'll stay on duty, fuel the truck for 30 minutes. Need to change it. Back on the road, Jay. Bobby. Well, thanks for dropping in. You know, if you're still here, Bobby, say happy birthday, Sky. Today's my wife's birthday. If y'all don't mind, anybody can say it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty day, 78 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. Just pulled into the yard. All right. You going home, Spin? Be home in about, well, I'll give you about what time I'll be at the house. I'm going to go home if I can. I'll be home about, yeah, somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. I'll be at the house. stay pretty much like this until we get to Louisville. About rush hour. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for some. Bud. Hey, I got that video you wanted in the tunnel. I've been waiting to see you jump on, brother. Hey, thank you, Schoolcraft. I appreciate that. I went to school and grew up with this kid. His last name is Schoolcraft. He was a really intelligent young man, he was. I don't know what he does these days, but I can see him all the time. Like the Illinois tucked underneath the bridge over there, but we're going to hammer down some people out. No, it's a cheap never Stellantis. Gotta share it, Schoolcraft, Danny, that's all I gotta do. Just gotta post it down there so you can see it. It's might be a long form video, but it'll just be a few minutes long. video or a long form video. I'll either have to mute it or have to play some type of music because, there's the actual original video has music playing and you can hear the kids chatting and, all that, so I have to cover it up. I should be able to do it here today, here shortly. Discovered, Indiana, established 1816, Lincoln's boyhood home. In 1814, took the wheel trip down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. Wasn't as many as it was a while before. We fired once more and they began to run down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, it doesn't, the live doesn't work like that though. It all it does is it'll have that buffering ring around it. So I don't know if it really records it, or I don't think it does. Because the live is, it's running off signals off the towers, satellites, So I couldn't really use it. I have to pre-record it. It's live will go until there's no service, and then it doesn't work. I've been in that tunnel, those tunnels up on that mountain there in Pagay. They're nothing like this tunnel. This tunnel is long and it closes. It's the, as far as I'm aware of, it's the only tunnel in the country that closes down for hazmat. They escort hazmat through. They'll shut the highway down. Video I did get of it though, Danny. I thought it looked pretty good. It was right when the sun was setting. I might be able to, maybe add my voice into it. Edit my voice into the video so that way, maybe I can commentary, stuff. But there's really nothing much to say about it besides it was built back in the day, and it was completed in 1996. That's about basically there's all to say about it. Closes down for hazmat. They'll only close the side, that one side down that's escorting hazmat. They'll shut down the highway until they escort a hazmat to the other side, and then they'll open the highway back up. But they'll leave the opposite side, the northbound, say they're escorting a tanker on the northbound side to Kentucky. They'll close down that northbound side, but the southbound side will remain open. I think that's kind of weird. Shut down one side and leave the other side open. Hawaii. 313. Dubai, huh? Dubai, ain't that the United Emirates? All right. Yeah, this is the United States. State of Illinois, or no, wait, no, I'm wrong. We're in Indiana. We are in the state of Indiana, established in 1816. United Emirates hitting the like button and hitting that subscribe button, touch point, subscribe, touch point, like. Appreciate you sending the hearts, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Drive a truck over there in Dubai. Sir, brother, you do the same as well, okay? Appreciate you talking with me briefly. It is a 11:37 Central Time, 12:37 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast, and it is 9:37 a.m. on the West Coast, California. It's morning time in the United States. It's just now afternoon on the East Coast. Morning time. Good morning, America. Yes, sir. You enjoy as well, brother. Hope to talk to you again sometime. Watching the truck and get a ticket, taking an exit. That was holding his permit. That was prohibited to oversized loads. It was on 270 South at 43, exit 43B. 270 South. American. Yeah. I'm an American. Columbus, that's right. Yeah, 2 cents around Columbus. United States of America. I'm a Tennessean. I'm from the South. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I don't know. I ain't never been to the United Emirates, but I'd like to see Dubai. I'd like to go there sometime, but I doubt I ever will. Not rich enough. Is that somebody sitting on the shoulder? Lay it down, take a nap, okay? Yeah, I'm not, you know, most Americans are just normal folks, you know, just living day to day, barely getting by. Working hard to get to heaven, where I come from. So if he had a permit to go that way, I wonder why they wrote him a ticket. But I don't need to wonder why. That's just how the police operate. They'll give you a ticket, you go to court and fight it. The court never wants to be seen as like for being wrong. They try hard to be so right, try so hard to get convictions to find people guilty. They don't, that's what I don't get. It's like if you're innocent until proven guilty, why do they not try so hard to find you innocent where they can't find you? Why do they do that? Why can't they just try so hard, like, hey, we're trying our best to find you innocent, but it's looking more and more like you are clearly guilty. If it's innocent till proven guilty, because the other way would be, you're guilty until proven innocent, because they try so hard to find you guilty. So that makes more sense. That's why they, because you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. That's the way I see it. It's innocent until proven guilty. The district attorney would be trying very a lot to try and find you innocent, but they don't do that. Be guest in Dubai. I wish I could, yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe they'll invite me to Dubai and I can drive a truck around Dubai. That'd be awesome. They do stuff like that in Ohio a lot. They got a friend of mine somewhere in upper Sandusky for something similar to what you're saying. Believe me from A to Z, all on me. All right, I'll put my faith and belief in you there, brother. Let's go to Dubai. Be a private jet and fly to Dubai. Looks like we're going to Dubai, Danny. You coming too, Danny? United Emirates, get on a plane, fly over here, meet me at McGee Tyson Airport, Knoxville, Tennessee, Saturday, or no, yeah, Friday, we'll go to Dubai. That makes more sense right there, Danny. Have a great day as well. We'll see you later. See you later. Goodbye. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come back. Goodbye. Come back, jump into the live, talk to us. Indiana is the only state that has not completed the Interstate 69 route yet. I've been on Interstate 69 all the way down in, I think, Houston, Texas. run into a part of it on 69 in Indiana, and you gotta take some town roads. Type of situation that a friend of mine ran into over there in Ohio. They didn't have signs or nothing. And they wait for them. They did the same thing in Upper Sandusky. And then they wait for trucks to turn on this road, and then they're sitting there waiting on them. And they stop every one of them, write them tickets. And they don't have signs either. That's just what it is, It's corruption, and that is what it is. It's crooked tactics. Nothing you can do about it. mayor, public servant, all public servants. The president is a public servant. FBI, public servants. DOT, DOJ, you name it. DOE, all public servants. And I could not be a public servant, especially on the status of police officer. Because I would let so many people go, they end up firing me. I got too good of a heart a lot of times. And, you know, if I saw some 19-year-old that made a mistake, I'd just like, you know, dude, like, I'll let you go, man. You can't, just know you can't do that no more. They ended up firing me. If I saw somebody drinking and driving, and, you know, they was like, hey, I just live 1 more mile down the road here. I'd be like, all right, you get the passenger seat, I'll drive you to the house. I'll walk back to the cruiser. Well, get in the car, I'll give you a ride to the house. I'd be fired. You can't be helping people. We're there for, ain't it? Protect and serve. Protect and serve. Somebody, you know, at a bar, drunk, whatever. Like, hey, Officer Gunner, you want to give me a ride to the house about 3 miles away? I got my car with me, but I've been drinking, I'm wasted. Protect and serve. Get in, I'll give you a ride to the house. I'd get fired. Drunk at the bar, and I was a police officer, and he needs to ride to the house. I get paid from state taxpayers. He's a taxpayer. Give him a ride home. He's wasted. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. Get in your car and drive yourself home, and then pull them over and take them to jail for DUI. plenty, a lot of evidence of all of it happening. And it is absolutely an overreach of government. Absolutely, Danny. It's crooked as hell. If you're a narcissist, and you know you're bad to other people, be a police officer. You'll fit right in, trust me. Because if you're a good-hearted person, there's no sense in doing it because you'll be fired. You want to help others, you'll be fired. Being a police officer is all about, arresting people. That's it, ruining their life, ruining some young girl's life because she's 21 and she just made a simple, innocent mistake that millions and millions of other people's done. But I'm gonna ruin her young life and she's gonna lose her job because I'm gonna take her ass to jail. But that's I don't get it. It's like something else. But, I just don't understand it. I couldn't do that to somebody. Now, if I, let that girl go, I'm like, hey, if I catch you doing it again, it's a little different then. But that's not the way it works. It's take them to jail, lose their job, whatever, let them sit in jail for a while, give them, make them sign 1129 probation. 1129, and for y'all that don't know, is 11 months, 29 days probation. Supervised probation. Meaning if it's misdemeanor, you gotta go see a probation officer once every single week. A minimum of once a week. For 11 months, 29 days. And then all that is another money gimmick where, you got to pay like $60 for a drug screen every time they give it to you. You got to pay their salary. So then you have to end up having to pay like $1,000 more just to be on probation. You got to pay to be on it. And on top of that, you got, your fines you got to pay, and your court costs you got to pay. And if you don't pay your probation officer, you know what happens to you? They'll put your ass in jail. They don't care, like, that you was working before and you went to jail, now some young girl or some young dude can't get another job now. They don't give a shit. All they want is their money. That's it. And if you don't pay them, if you don't pay them, they put you in jail. But on the street, if somebody owes you, $1,500, there's hands get through to the system. They don't throw their hands. They'll put you in jail. Take you for everything you're worth. See, what a lot of these states do, Danny, is they'll, let's say you got a DUI in a commerce state. Let's say you got a first offense DUI, misdemeanor, you lose your license for a year. You'll pay anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. And so, let's say, that the maximum sentence for that first offense DUI is 1 year in jail. And then what they'll do is you got to do, a mandatory 10 days in jail, mandatory, first offense DUI, depending on what state you're in. And so let's say, you got busted Friday and you get arraigned morning. And, you got a job, so therefore he's going to keep you in jail because he thinks, the judge thinks you're going to give him some money. You're going to post a $500 bond to get out of jail. And two guys that's with you, let's say they don't have a job, got busted with the same thing. Well, he'll let them OR out. Meaning, they get out of jail. And then after that, you got a court date for 1 month later, and say you don't get out on bail, you'll be in jail for 34 days, and then you see the judge again. And what happened then is they'll offer you 11 months, 29 days supervised probation. So now what you've done is you can either decline that and they'll send you back to jail. And then you might have another court date 3-4 months down the road. So by the time it's all over with, you've served your time. You've been in jail for a year. Or you could take that paper, you transform the jail sentence into 11 months, 29 days on paper, probation. Now you got to pay that shit. That's what they do. Now, if you decline that paper all the time, you'll cost the taxpayer more money than what it's worth. It's not necessarily profitable exactly for a petty charge, something like that, an innocent DUI where, you're sitting in the driveway with the car running, just idling there in the driveway. That is a DUI. And so, if someone was to just not take that paper, when it's all said and done, that person would stay in jail for an entire year before it's finally squashed. And they've done the maximum sentence on a first offense DUI. So it's crooked as hell, man. And you've cost the taxpayers of that state and that county a lot of money just by sitting in jail on a misdemeanor charge. And they do that in hopes that people will take the probation, like you got caught with a half ounce of marijuana. Misdemeanor, not a big deal. But that, if you're in the state of like Tennessee, for example, that's going to be, you'll go to jail and you'll end up having to do jail time or take 11 months, 29 days probation. What's up, Dee? Yeah, I remember you. Just the other day. Yeah, Danny, the best thing you can do if you are to be stopped by the police for DUI or whatever, the best thing you can do is once you've been caught, let's say you're driving down the road, you got a half ounce of weed on you, and this will all vary depending on your state, whatever state you're in. And you know, once a cop says, he takes a whiff and he goes, you know what, hey Danny, I smell marijuana. Boom, it's over. Because that's all a police officer has got to do, is say smell marijuana, and your Fourth Amendment went out the window. So now let's say they now you can't. Now they have probable cause where they can search your vehicle without your consent. Let's say you get out of the vehicle, they search your car, and they find a half ounce of marijuana in your car. The best thing you can do is not say another word, and you verbally have to say one thing, and it's this right here. You will say, at this point, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent without counsel. And you say, no more. That's it. Don't admit to shit. That goes the same for DUI. You know, if the cop's like, you been drinking? All you say is, I don't answer questions. You don't consent to taking a roadside or whatever test if you've had a few drinks. You know, don't get out there and touch your nose. Do your ABCs backwards. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 with your finger, thumbs, and tips of your fingers. You don't do that. You don't walk a straight line. You don't take a breathalyzer test. You don't consent to a blood test. That is considered a search. And that's a violation of your Fourth Amendment right. You don't do that, because all that does, you're going to fail whether you believe I passed this 100%. You may have, but you didn't. And your ass is going to go to jail for DUI. And then once you got out there and you consented to these tests, all that does is help them create a solid case to find you guilty. It's not to help find you innocent. They can say any little thing you did. Let's say you kind of leant over to the left a little bit because you was balancing on your left leg, and boom, use that right against you to find get a guilty conviction. Do not, if you have been drinking, do not consent to any test. Just go to freaking jail. You're going to jail no matter what. Now, if you take that test, that's all that's going to do is find you guilty. That's all it's going to do. Do not do it. You're going to jail whether you do it or don't do it. So now, if you didn't do it, you still go to jail. But if you got enough money to get a lawyer or whatever, you got a good chance of, having a good defense. Yeah, Danny, I know. That's one of my hobbies, is to study and read law. So, yeah. Some states are, all you got, just read the case in Terry versus Ohio. That's where the term the Terry stop came from, was that case. So you got to read the laws of your state. Every state is its own country. Therefore they have their own state laws, and some states' laws will be similar to another state. Like Kentucky it's not a stop and ID state. Therefore, upon request, if you're, walking through the parking lot of Walmart and a cop pulls up to you and it's like, hey, what are you doing? First first thing you need to say right then is, I don't answer questions, sir. You're not obligated to answer questions. Seems like he's investigating you, and you are not obligated to assist a police officer in his investigations. And then the next thing, like Kentucky, for an example. If he's like, hey, well, you got ID? Well, Kentucky's not a stop and ID state. So he's just, you're walking through the Walmart parking lot, cop stops you, what's your ID? It's not a stop and ID state. You do not have to give him identification. You have to commit a crime in the state of Kentucky before you have to ID. Okay, that could be as simple as a traffic violation for not using your turn signal or improper lane change. At that point, you have to. Now Indiana is a stop and ID state. So if a police officer wants your ID, you have to give them ID. So is New York. And oh man. That's why I like your driver's license. If you don't sign your driver's license, it's not valid. When you do that, you give consent. Unknowingly, you're giving consent to the state. Did you know that? They force you to give the state consent by signing your driver's license. Now, next time you got to renew your driver's license, don't sign it. Tell them I'm not signing it. Now, I promise you, they will not give you a driver's license. It's a crooked tactic where you're unknowingly giving the state, you just think you're signing your driver's license. No, you're giving the state consent to search your blood, for an example. If you're in Florida driving down a road or whatever, and they think you're drinking, and you're like, well, they're going to ask, are you want to go to the hospital, test your blood, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like, no, but they can do it anyway. You gave consent on your driver's license. Yeah, just try that. Next time anybody, you got to renew your driver's license. When they're like, okay, well, sign the screen right there. You're like, no, I'm not signing it. I promise you, the DMV will not give you your driver's license until you sign it. You've got to give the state consent. Now, to get out of all that stuff, you have to be a sovereign citizen, meaning you opt out of being a federal entity. But you can't drive in commerce. Like what I'm doing right now is traveling in commerce. I have to have a driver's license to drive commercially. Like that van right there, it's driving commercially because it's operating on an interstate. Now, if you were a sovereign citizen, you are not allowed on the interstate. You have to take the back roads. And you do not have to have a driver's license. The way the system views sovereign citizens is they view them as an enemy of the state, which is not true. They just don't want to play by the same baloney, be controlled. state's a little different, you know. And so what's the penalty of not signing your driver's license in Ohio? I mean, you're gonna, that's how they get you, man. Like, you gotta sign that driver's license. Next time, any of you that are listening right now, next time you gotta renew those licenses, do not sign it. And so they force you. They don't like, oh, okay, well, here's your driver's license anyway. You're giving the state consent, by God, or you're not getting your license. That's control. That's like a dictatorship right there. That's dictatorship right there. They make you sign it or else you're not getting it. You will not be legal to drive on the road if you don't sign that. And that is crooked as hell, buddy. Sign it or don't have a driver's license. Then, therefore, you're illegal. That just doesn't sound right. See, they're not there for you. They're not. They're there against you. They see you as an enemy, no matter what. I have to renew my license. I think probably 6 more years. Let me see what year it expires. Man, long time from now, 2032. Yeah, you gotta pay close attention. You gotta pay close attention, man. You gotta, if you're reading something, if it comes with anything with the courts or any police officers, public servants, whatever, and they want you to sign something, like say you don't, like if you don't understand it, because there's trickery to it. You know, you better get smart or know somebody that is smart. Because it's trickery. They use trickery. And they're damn good at it too. That is correct, Sven. It is a privilege. It is not a right. And it's hard for me to understand that people don't know that. And it's hard for me to understand that people think it's a right. Like, where do you think it's a right? What made you think that? You know what I mean? as well. Like they like the state of Kentucky loves to put up roadblocks, but they call them checkpoints now. And a lot of, mainly it's just to get a smell of alcohol so they can arrest for DUIs, which that's cool, you know, it's fine. Keep the drunks off the road, you know. They need to, you know, be smart about it if you're going to go out drinking. Have somebody that can drive you or something. But what they do is they don't want to check for driver's license. See if they want to check for driver's license. Now, mind you, Kentucky is not a stop and ID state. So even during a traffic stop at a checkpoint, when you've done no traffic violation infractions, you do not have to show your driver's license at that roadblock in the state of Kentucky. Now, mind you, now listen, the police may not know these laws, and they may give you a rough time, and they may arrest you, which for the person that happens to is a good thing, because now you got you a civil rights federal lawsuit. In Kentucky, you have to commit an infraction or a crime in order to where you have to identify yourself. And rolling up to a roadblock is not a traffic infraction or a crime, and you do not have to ID. What they don't understand is that there's a difference between a right to take your driver's test and having a driver's license. Correct. Absolutely, Steve. Up to a roadblock in Kentucky like that, they're just checking driver's license. You're wearing your seatbelt. You know, you got everything works, everything's proper. Your windshield ain't cracked, because your windshield being cracked in a non-stop and ID state, that's an infraction. You'll have to ID over that, which I think that's just terrible. And in trucking, you don't have rights. Like, if you don't own your equipment, you don't have any rights. If you're an employee, all your rights are gone. So at any time a cop wants to search that truck, they can, because it's not yours. Plus, you sign, when you work for a company, you sign a lot of stuff, and one of those pieces of papers that you're signing is basically one that says your rights are done. The only thing that saves citizens from tyrant government is their rights. And it's important, if you're an American, that you know what your rights are, what the laws are in your state. It's very important, and you need to exercise it. Because if you don't, they're going to walk all over you. And they're not there for you. They're not. If they were, they tell you these things at the traffic stop. They're not going to tell you that. If you was drinking and driving, say you had a six-pack, you drank a six-pack of beer, a cop's going to, you know, he's not going to say, hey, I smell alcohol, but listen to me. I think you should invoke your Fifth Amendment right. He's not going to tell you that. They're not for you. They want you to do everything to find yourself guilty. That's what they want you to do. They're not going to tell you, well, this is what your rights, this is what you can do. At this very moment, they don't do that, though. That's why they sit it out in the middle of the road on the interstate. They target it. They're targeted. That's why you know, there's many times where, you know, there's been a lot of people like driving down the road and they see blue lights behind them and they're like, hey, and they think to themselves, I didn't do anything. I've been doing the speed limit, stay between the lines, and they know this, and they get pulled over and they can't figure out why. Yeah, you're bound by rules. Yeah, like you know, your privilege of driving a vehicle legally with your driver's license. You know, you got to give the state consent, so you got to drive that. You got to sign that driver's license. Otherwise, the state will not give you a driver's license. So, yeah, they got you bound right there. It's a privilege, but it's an unknowing privilege. People don't know why they're signing that. They don't know. They just think it's like, because it pops up on the screen. They're like, hey, sign your name right there. Have no idea. They just think it's their driver's license. No, it ain't. You're only going to give, the state's only going to give you that license if you give them consent. You know, like, ask the clerk at the DMV why you're signing. You know, they most likely don't even know. But tell them, you know, I don't want to sign it. You know, it's just my driver's license. I don't want to sign it. Just let me pay my $26 to renew my driver's license. They're like, no, you can't do that. You have to sign it. Or you ain't getting a driver's license, baby. And any public, you know, like public buildings, you know, it's a public building because it's the people's building. It's taxpayers. Schools, taxpayers. Courthouse, taxpayers. City Hall, taxpayers, you name it. And you can go in there and record. Post office, taxpayer. And that's it. The post office is a different jurisdiction. It's federal. It's a federal jurisdiction. So like your county cops don't have authority in the post office. A lot of people don't know that. Hey Sam. That's how the rich win, the time it takes to prove that your rights. Takes the lawyer many hours to explain in court. That's why the court delay. Yeah, that's what they do. Delay. You can go to court for years over a court delay. Lunchtime. Yeah, it's all all stacked against us. Well, against citizens. I'm a citizen. I'm a public citizen. I'm not a private citizen. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I am a public citizen, such as you. Well, actually, we're not public citizens. We are federal citizens. A lot of people don't know a lot of these things, you know. So, like, you gotta do research. That's one of my hobbies, is reading law and reading into this stuff. It is freaking amazing. So you're technically not a state citizen. You are a federal citizen, government citizen. There's pros and cons to being a sovereign citizen, pros and cons to being, like, you know, just a normal citizen, like probably everybody in this live right now is just a normal federal, or whatever you want to call it, public citizen. And then there's pros and cons to being a private citizen. But if you are a sovereign citizen, you are viewed as an enemy, a terrible person. But as a sovereign citizen, you're actually free. You're free. So it's like basically like a private citizen. But the only thing is when you are those citizens, all your privileges are gone. The only thing, you're just not controlled by the system. But you gotta, in order to be like a sovereign citizen or private citizen, the first thing you gotta have is money. You know, like say you're you're better off financially than, you know, most people. You know, if I had $3 million, I would absolutely